Artisan Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Midwest Artisan Podcast. I'm Andy Hinkle.
I'm Dalton McCleary.
How's it going, Dalton?
Pretty good. It's very stressful time in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I hear you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to start off on a bad note, but stressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find one of those money trees. It's just...
well, let me know when you find one.
Yeah, I feel you, man. We just have a lot of bad luck. We talked, briefly pre-show, but it just, just at a high level for it's been super stressful. Like just, kids. We have a new lung in the house. Lungs in the house with a new boy, and so it's, but not only that, but it's like, we had our air conditioning go out last night, and so I had a guy come in and fix. We've had some insurance issues, like with health insurance issues lately, and we had a roof leak. So with storm a couple weeks ago, man. So it's just like, in our refrigerator. I didn't even tell you that pre-show. Our refrigerator went out like last week, and so I had to replace the fridge. And they were like on back order and everything, so we were without a fridge for several days. So man, we're living it up. We're living the dream. So
you're surviving. I mean, that's not a good time to do that either. Dead middle of summer in Midwest Indiana. No AC on half
your
house.
Who need milk and all that stuff. Yeah,
they gotta add that milk.
Anyway.
Woof.
But we're rocking it. We're pushing through.
Woof.
I'm going to LARCon here in a little over a week.
Nice. Very
Boston.
Nice.
So excited about that.
Shout out.
Yeah, be a great time seeing everybody. So if you're, I plan on trying to attend all the things. I don't know if I'll make it in time for dodgeball, but did you hear that they're doing dodgeball? Do you know all the events they're doing this
awesome.
year?
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, they're doing a dodgeball.
Sorry.
They're doing Lair Prom.
What?
Yeah, Lair Prom.
Is it like
yes?
Bring your spouse? Are you like encouraged to bring your spouse?
Yeah, I think it's going to be just a bunch of dudes. Honestly, let's take a look at the guest list here. There's about 342 people going. I'm scrolling through the list. Okay, there's a few. Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of dudes. We have a few guys who bring their significant others. They'll put on there, 2 or whatever. But it's like dress up is optional. Like it says tuxes and poofy dresses optional. But if you dress up, we'll give you a Laravel necktie or silk scarf.
Oh.
So.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I'm not sure if it's at a high school, Cathedral High School.
And they're going all out on the prom theme.
We're going to be really feeling our young days here. Like, going to feel back in high school doing like a Lair prom in high school. I don't know how it's going to go. I think, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it because, you think prom, you think of like just the pumping music. I want to go to an event with like, there's no music, like, cause it's, me and you have been to many events, Laravel events.
Hang on, this is a real hot. I want to go to an event with no music.
Yes, just people chatting. Okay, or music very, very low, just enough to
like a jazz
fill
band.
the room at a low level. Yes, exactly.
Okay,
because I feel like every event that me and you have been to, like Laravel event, it's just been like boo doo doo doo. There's some DJ music or somebody like DJing, or it's just like a band playing. Wait, what was that? Nashville? They had a live band on stage.
They had a legit live band. Unfortunately, they cleared the place out.
As soon as they started playing, it was just like ants, and there's everyone left.
Can't talk in here.
Yeah,
it's kind of bad.
So, hopefully, just music at a low level. We're not thumping like a club or what. I don't know. It'll be a good time regardless. And so there's several other events too. There's some VIP dinners, I guess, but the Larabelles are all getting together. There's the Vibes with Native PHP, which is a paid event. That's a day 3 event. And I think it reminds me a lot of in the day 2 in Buffalo at Livewire. Like Wire Live, let's try to remember that name, at Wire Live, where day 2, it was just pretty much hang out, chat, we might hack and code kind of thing. I talked briefly on a previous episode about that, on how much fun that was, but it kind of reminds me of that. But there's all sorts of events. So anyway, I'm going to be at the Lara Prom, the after party, and maybe the Vibes. We'll see if I'm. I have to look at the air when I'm flying out that day. So
if you see a tall guy over there getting his swag on, that's Andy. Come say hi.
Swag on. Yeah, it'll be good. So excited about that. So what's going on in your world, or how's
Nice.
how's everything going?
Well, it's going pretty good for me. Very stressful, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm not going to Laracon this year, and I think I said it on this podcast last year that I was going to go regardless. Well, I broke my rule. I'm not going because I bought a house, and
it's a very good reason. Yeah,
I'm doing a bunch of renovations that week. The last
and you're
week
like
of
closing
July.
Today, right?
I'm closing literally as soon as we wrap this podcast. I'm gonna go sign the papers for my new house.
Yeah,
So
that's really exciting though.
Stressful, exciting, but yeah, I've got. I think the apartment we have now is like 750 square feet, and we bought a condo downtown that's like 2,300 square feet. So it feels like a mansion compared to this place. It feels like a mansion.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
You walk in, hear your echo when you talk. Just
it does. But it's 2 stories too. Like
that's awesome.
It's crazy.
Excited for you
guys. So yes, it's real nice. So that's why I will not be at Laracon, unfortunately, because I will be in the rafters painting my house that whole week. It's like 22-foot ceilings, so like literally in the rafters with a big roller.
There you go. Yeah.
Because my wife wants to repaint everything.
Okay. So you're gonna do a lot of projects yourself. Is it just paint that you're going to be doing, or is it
paint, flooring, new tile?
The whole works, huh?
The works. I mean, we got it was an old place. The place is built in like the 1800s, so it's like over 100 years old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like we also got a new air conditioner unit, a new water heater, a new refrigerator because all that stuff was from like 2008 and it just didn't work. So ironically, I also I had the same problem where my AC wasn't working over there. It was like 82 degrees when I was doing my walkthrough. It's like, hey, I don't think the AC is working. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It's not working. But I didn't pay for it. The seller paid for it. I didn't pay for any of that.
Yeah. That's good. At least you don't have to worry about that. Of course, you could knock some price off if not. But glad it all worked out. But man, I'm excited for you. That is a lot. So good luck on all the projects and stuff like that. So that's really exciting. So once you guys get all settled in, you'll have to throw a layer prom.
Yeah. It's funny that you'll have to come down and see because High Score, that place that we go to a lot.
Shout out High Score Saloon.
They are. I don't want to say my neighbors, but they are like legitimately my neighbors now.
Wow.
I could stand on my balcony and see the High Score sign just like right there.
See the pinball tables. So
for
listeners, High Score Saloon, it's like a adult bar full of arcade. Yeah. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. They're my neighbors now.
Awesome.
Sort of neighbors. There's a building between us, but they're my neighbors.
Man, that'd be so much fun. Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Living the dream. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's talk about AI. Since it's the AI podcast.
Right.
It's we do have I'll mention with I mentioned with Laracon. Honestly, I've heard that there are still tickets available, so it's pretty public. But I've heard that Laracon's kind of down this year, and so with attendees, there's also more attendees, so there's that going on as well. They have more capacity for more attendees, but it's kind of unusual that tickets are still available. Usually at this point, there's a waiting list, so I wonder if that has to play with AI at all. If people are still excited about code, if we talked about previously. Last show, are people genuinely excited about going to Laracon and seeing features? Caleb talked about this too. Are people going to be excited about seeing we dropped a new easier method in code? What does it matter if you could just code it with AI? He's talked about that, and so I don't know if that has to play into it, but me personally, I just feel you feel the same way. Even if there's no conference talks, it's just people chatting, it's networking. That's all that would be enough for me to go and just feel jazzed for the next 12 months to write some code,
Exactly.
And so, yeah, I'm excited about some of the talks that are coming, because there's even a few AI talks, and I think those are honestly the ones that just any AI workflow, like like when we come up and talk to me at LairCon, I want to know about your workflow. What do you have going on?
Tools.
Because
Yeah.
what tools are you using? Because I feel like everyone's different, and so some people are just rocking, terminal, and some people are, you a combination of stuff, or some people, like, apparently I got called a normie recently for just using the Claude app. I was like, I guess I'm a normie now.
What?
So
I used the Claude
yeah,
app.
yeah. Aaron Francis, like, you talking about using, if you just use the Claude app, you're a normie. I was like, okay. So, but
I'm
I was like,
attacked.
the Claude app 6 months ago, even 3 months ago, was terrible.
Oh
The
yeah, I
Claude
would
app
argue
today is
a
great.
month ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the diff viewer is great. They have a built-in browser now that and
Yep.
actually it was
Mhm.
way more stable now than it was a month ago. I'll even have to tell it to. I used to write /Chrome. I don't even have to do that anymore. I just, like, open the browser, and it actually just automatically opens on that side panel and starts navigating.
It's
So
nice.
yeah,
I mean, and
built-in
the fact
terminal.
you could split stuff.
Yeah.
Like even the Codex app can't do that, or I don't think it can.
Oh yeah.
Where you
Like
can
split
like,
it
oh,
vertically.
I'm gonna have one chat. I'm gonna pull another chat over here, and I'll pull a third chat down here. Right?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
that's the whole reason I was using the terminal with Claude before, is because I could have multiple work trees running in one view, and I could see which one needed my attention. And I was like, I'm not going to go to the Claude app because I don't want to have to switch context. Okay, I'm looking at one chat. All right, I've got to switch to this other chat, and I'm going to look at this one. No, I just want to see which one's running and which one's not running. Oh, that one. Okay, cool. Let me work with that.
Yeah.
I use that split screen on the Claude app all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
I use just the tabs on there. It has that little indicator, like, I think it turns yellow if it needs something, and so I just usually flip between them like a normie. So,
yeah, you nerd.
I guess I am a normie. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I collapse the sidebar. I want all the.
I need to do
I
that.
have one whole monitor dedicated specifically to the Claude desktop in full screen mode.
Nice.
With the sidebar collapse, so I can see as much stuff as I possibly can.
Nice.
Because your boy over here working.
We talked briefly about Caleb and his opinions about people like Laricon AI. He posted a tweet or a post on X, whatever how people call it these days. I'm forever gonna call it Twitter, but it really made me feel something. He put something into words of something I've been feeling for a long time. I just couldn't properly convey it, and he worded it very beautifully. And so I'll run through it pretty quick. It's kind of lengthy, but he posted that agents are getting really good at writing code, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I don't have confidence in it. It says I babysit the implementation, I review the plan, I review the diff, I see the CI passing, everything's green, everything's good, and still he can't bring himself to tag it. And so he even goes as far as writing a blog post about it. So he says, so far, the only way I know to write code is actually to write it. And says when he writes code, it flows through his brain. This is the part that really kind of stuck with me. It says when I write code, it flows through my brain and the fingertips. It like imprints itself into my brain. So I can run the program purely in my imagination. I can spot the shortcomings, performance costs, leaks, bad abstractions. It's kind of the miracle. It's kind of a miracle, but this is just the way it happens when you program. And that is so true. And I feel like I've been feeling that way for a long time, that art is like kind of gone away, because you can really speak fluently, especially like when you're presenting or when you are, you're being asked questions about it, or if you have a new feature coming in, you can kind of know their shortcomings or the trade-offs that you're going to have. But when you vibe code, it's some of these things may not happen. You have to internalize. Now, this is my own words. I'm going off what Caleb, but you have to internalize. Yeah, you have to internalize. A lot of the AI thought. So and then you have to kind of build that and print that into your own brain. And that's really hard to do. You have to understand its output instead of you giving input and providing output. Anyway. He talks about how it makes AI so frustrating for him, and he has a different situation because all of his work is very public. How if we have in where we are, if we have a bug or something like with AI that's created with Claude, or we can just create like a little PR, but it could potentially affect thousands of or for him it could potentially affect thousands of projects, and so I get the trade-off there. It's very public. And so in my own work, I try to, obviously try to minimize that as well, but it's not as pristine as it used to be. I used to, every line, every like what trade-off, why wrote it this way, why this code's over here, and, and it's always
Getting the
there. And
flavor.
so, yeah, and it's like, and you have a good memory of it too, of like, of when I first wrote the AI stuff that we've been doing at work, that I think, because I just wrote it by hand, and I think that's how I still am so like very aware of it. And so because I just took the time to write it by hand in the way that I originally had Claude do it, and then this was back in Sonnet 3.5 or whatever it was, very early, and so it was terrible. So I wrote it on my own, and I'm thankful I did, because I feel like if I started writing it today, it would have been, I think it would honestly never made it to where it is currently. And so, but he has so many good points here. It's a lot of things that I'm feeling recently of just like, I'll just tell Claude to come, like, hey, come investigate this bug, come provide a fix, and then I'll sit there and read over the code probably 10 times and ask you questions over and over, like, oh, what about this? What about that? And then the next day, I still will be questioning it. Like, is that right? It's just kind of like, is that truly correct? And because you're not, you're not with the hammer, or you're not with the hammer and the tools doing the stuff itself. Does that make sense? So
Yes, very much so.
do you feel like that at all?
I always feel like that since I've started this vibe coding thing. Like, I get it, right? Like, I can't remember if it's in his thing exactly word for word, but it was like, you went from being a programmer to essentially just a manager of agents, right? They're going to do all the work, and you're the one steering the ship or whatever. And yeah, it's it's real hard, and I find myself a lot doing that, of where it will try to steer itself. That makes sense. It's like, hey, we're working on this specific feature. Here are the guardrails. So, I only want to do this, and it will do that. And it goes, okay, well, actually, did you know that I could do this next? And I recommend that we do this next. I'm like, mm-mm. That's a different task. That's a different session.
It loves to do that.
And so I found myself getting into that pitfall before, of like, oh yeah, well, shoot, I'll just add that real quick. Yeah, that'll be sweet. Oh, cool. Yeah, let's just do that while we're here. Let's do that while we're here. Mm-mm. Cannot do that. Cannot do that anymore, because it has bitten me before. And it's like, oh yeah, we'll just add this. It's a one-line change. No, you're going outside the scope of what I was talking about with this chat, with this session. And me as the manager, I'm saying, no, you could document that for later and we'll come back to it. I just need you to do the task that I asked you to do. And so, yeah, it's a lot of like managerial things without the human emotion of like, shut up. I told you to only do this, so I only want you to do this, or I'm gonna kill this session, and that'll be just the end of it,
That's funny.
So yeah, I feel that all. I feel that a lot, right? Like, ooh, am I losing something?
Yeah,
am I just
it's
being
like
a manager? And it
right.
does that happen when you become
more
a
of the mental overhead too, of like, of knowing it was written by AI, and just like, is this truly vibe coded? Is it purely guessing? Is it actually solving the problem? It's just and so I think for me is when I do the speech. We've talked about this last show, if you listeners haven't. But we talk about how we talk to AI a lot, and I think that's what's helped me a lot, because I find my prompts way more accurate when I'm just talking, because you're giving. I feel like you're giving a lot more context than it needs, but sometimes when you're typing, you just want to get straight to the point of just being kind of straightforward, and not very verbose as like an audio format. And I think that helps with a little bit of the confidence of like knowing like this when you add more context. But there's been many times where by the time I understand it, I wish I just wrote it myself, and then I had AI review it to make sure it's right. But man, but by then I've already worked on 3 other features, and I got a lot of. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm getting a ton of stuff done, but it's like You still have that thought,
Well, yeah,
thought in the back of your
what,
mind, like, is this right?
yeah, what's
So
your confidence level of,
yeah,
oh, hey, I could do one feature a week and my confidence level would be 100%. Or I could do one feature a day and my confidence level would be 75, 80%.
yeah, yeah. So, and I think I wonder if with time, if as it just continues to get better, if it's just gonna or if it's gonna be even easier, or I mean, you see a lot of these companies that that just dump AI entirely because it's so it's very slot filled, So I don't know. I still review every line. I still read read all every
Uh-huh.
line.
Uh-huh.
It goes through either PR and also what it produces. I don't know you do as well, but it's still just that thought lingering back of back of my mind. Like, okay, is there a better way that we could have wrote this to capture, make sure it captures everything right? Or is it you're just always second guessing it? But anyway, I thought it was super interesting. Like he shared
Yeah,
that. So I'll share it in the show notes if you haven't seen that post
you
out there.
should.
But
Yeah.
there's some good replies on there too.
Uh-huh.
Someone had a good reply and says that just said, don't forget people that are currently using AI are also the same code that's in vehicles right now.
Oof.
So yeah, just a good point. But
Oof.
so it's more or less, it's like, don't be afraid to just, make mistakes or whatever. But if the payout is good, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta be really careful. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and do you actually trust? Like I always have mine write a bunch of tests. Like write a test for literally every use case possible. Do
Hmm.
you also
Yeah.
trust those tests? Did it write good tests? Because I always found when I was writing tests by hand, some features took me longer to write the tests than it did to write the feature.
Right.
Because you gotta mock. We had the whole thing about mocking, right?
Yeah.
I haven't
Hmm.
thought about mocking since then,
Yeah.
since that podcast episode, because it was so hard to do. Of like, I need to mock, this SOAP requests header thing so it doesn't go out and hit an actual live API endpoint, but I can control the responses I get back, and then I want to sequence the responses so I get a good response, bad response, good response, so I can test a specific path, right? And now AI is just like, cool. I wrote a whole 500 line test file for the happy path and the bad path,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at it. I'm like, the tests pass, but I don't know if, because you could write a test that passed, but
Hmm.
it might not actually
Assert true
test.
is true.
Yeah, it might not actually test the thing you're trying to do. And so
Hmm.
is that a false positive that all the tests pass?
Yeah.
I don't know, because
Yeah.
I'll
The
review them. And I'm like, I wouldn't write a test that way, but
Yeah, the tests in still need a lot of work. I mean, it's too verbose, and it's like the assertions line. It's just like testing every little field. Like, dude, like it'll be like submit the form and then go check that every field's in the database, whatever. And like, yeah, just
yeah,
assert
too
that there's
much.
a form like an ID in the database. Call it good. And so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, or it'll be like, assert that the form sent, or the form created in the database, oh, and then also assert that the job dispatched, that this class dispatched. Great, that's what I would write. But then it would be like, but not only that, there'd be a callback inside the assert job dispatch. Make sure that the job that's
Mhm,
dispatched is the ID that was just created, and then that
mhm.
the fields match. I'm like, dude, just make sure that the job was dispatched.
Overkill,
It's all we want to know. So
overkill.
yeah, and I get it. It's sometimes the you want to have that verboseness to it, but then when you're reviewing it, it's just like sometimes you're testing too closely to the framework. Like it's not the way it should be. It's and then to your
It's a
point,
coach mill, yo.
when you go in to have it go fix something, a lot of times it like if you're anything like me, when the test fails, I just tell Claude, "Hey, the test is failing. Go fix it." So like
Legit.
usually what that means, like either the code's bad or the test is bad, and so then it's like we're just implementing on top of the AI that we just did. So yeah,
Woof.
it's tricky.
So yeah, that begs the question then, is AI even good enough
Yeah,
yet?
yeah,
Did
because
you did you like that
with
segue?
yeah, I did. Yeah, so
Thanks,
is
man.
AI good enough? Yeah, it is. So Fable's out now. Which and then we have ChatGPT. How do you say that?
Soul?
Soul? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, soul.
Soul, okay, yeah. And so with Codex, Soul, And we have all these. I find even Opus 4.8. Some people just like, oh, like on Twitter and stuff. I
A
find it pretty
lot of
good.
people.
Yeah, they seem to hate it, but usually I'm on it quite a bit. Yeah, I find it's annoying how wordy it is. But anyway, where
It
I'm going with
is.
this
It
is
is.
like we're getting into the state for me personally. I'm getting to the stage now of like I'm finding AI just good enough. Like if I have Fable for the next 12 months, I'm good. Whatever. Yeah, I don't need anything else.
Even if it costs
So
an arm and a leg.
yeah, that's another topic, but it's just like if it gets
Mhm.
if it gets too costly, but they recorded a profit last month, and so I mean there might be something
Oh,
there. Yeah,
okay.
so like they're actually seem to Anthropic's actually making money. So I don't know. Like yeah, I think it just depends on how I feel like it is going to get cheaper the longer they go, but we'll see. But what I'm going is when is it going to be good enough to like we don't care if because this is already happening. This is what I remember. Grok was the new one. Like
Oh.
somebody at work, they were
Mhm.
sharing to try out the Grok one, and I was like,
Mhm.
eh. Like can't bring myself to do it. Same thing for Swole. I'm glad you tried it out so you could talk about it because I want to hear about it. But I'm just like in my mind when they announced Swole's coming out, I'm like, I have Fable for like a week. I'm just gonna keep using it till it runs out. I think that's Anthropic just trying to keep us on the hook. So because we know we're
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
sticking around.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
so anyway, but is it gonna get to a point where we just don't care that the new Grok is out, the new ChatGPT, like, or if Fable 6 comes out or whatever it is, are we just gonna like, okay, we'll use it, like we don't need to know about it. We just know it's smarter and faster. So
I think so.
like
I think
we're
so
we're
because
almost there. Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of people talking about hacks on how to get back to like Opus 4.6. Like, oh, I want to go back there, but like you can't. It's kind of like Apple. Whenever you try to buy like an iPhone from Apple, you go to their website. You can't go buy the last iPhone. You can only buy the latest iPhone. Right? They're only
Yeah.
going to promote the latest thing. Like, come try our new thing, the latest thing. So like, I can't even like. I have Claude open right now. Can I select Opus 4.6? No.
I think you can't. If you go to
Oh
other
yes, I can.
models.
More
Yeah,
models.
you got
Oh, okay,
other
so I
models
can.
down below. Yeah, Opus 4.6.
All
That's what
right,
people
so I
like to
can.
do. Opus 4.6, I believe. That's the
But that's the thing. Like, why? Why would I go back to 4.6? 4.8 works for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me. But like,
yeah.
if let's say Opus 5 comes out soon, I'm just gonna switch to that and use the latest thing
Yeah.
because
Is it?
why would I not?
I just want it to be faster. And
Yeah,
I
I want
think
it to be fast.
Token Town, it's Aaron Francis and oh, Aaron Francis.
Aaron Francis has another podcast.
Yes.
My boy, good for him.
And I'm going to cut this part out, but Aaron Francis and Ian Lensman, Token Town. I think they kind of briefly touched on this if I remember right, but yeah, it's like when is it going to be good enough and fast enough to where where speed matters? It's like, yeah, it's like it knows about how to write models and commands and controllers, whatever, but we just want it fast. And I think Grok is kind of the winner on that right now. Just I haven't used it myself, but been reading about
I've
it,
seen a
just how
lot.
fast it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
can't just bring myself to, I don't know. I just like, I have to like, I have all these skills written just for Claude. That's how they hook you, how Anthropic hooks you on there. I have all these skills written
Same.
just for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the moment I think about, I'm going to have to like whip some terminal out or I guess I would bring out solo term. I would bring out the solo stuff. I'd use that. And then, but then again, I'm like, I have to create some skills just for that. I
You
have all
you
these
literally
skills
have to
just set for
tell.
Claude. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to tell Claude to say, "Hey, I'm going to migrate the skills that I have from you to somewhere else.
It'd be
Can
great
you
to
help me
have
with
an
that?"
agnostic, kind of skill thing, and hopefully that
I've seen.
Anthropic's the only one that's really out on that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like they're trying to do that, right? Like even with Open Router has just one API endpoint for all the models, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for like somebody's got to have that for skills, and somebody has to have that for sub agents and
Yeah.
junk like that, where it's agnostic enough. But I mean,
Yep.
even the other developers at my work are talking a lot about Grok and Kimi. They're like, they use Cursor, I'm still on just Claude Desktop. They're like, we're going to try Cursor. And they've been
Normie.
talking a lot about Grok and Kimmy. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, this, to go back to the point, is AI good enough yet? It kind of is, because from what I'm hearing from them, is that it's fast and it's right. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Well, I mean, my Opus is right, but if you're saying it's faster, that goes back to the thing of like, oh, one feature a week if I'm doing it by hand, one feature a day if I'm doing it with the Claude. Can I get like 2 features done a day with Grok 4.5? But then my confidence goes down. Like the more output that I have, the lower, like they're mutually exclusive. You know what I mean?
You switch to another one, yeah, it's faster, but then you lose your confidence. Like, okay, is it going to be the same as like? I still have to read through it, you know. And so, I don't know, man. I think for right now I'm going to stick with Anthropic and just see. Yeah, I'm on the 20x max plan, so and then when I get close every week to using it.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh, well, are you doing a lot of Fable stuff then?
Yeah, doing a lot of, well, yeah, I'm pretty much exclusively on Fable, except for if it's something like super easy.
Wow.
But then, yeah, I pretty much hit max Fable every week. And
wow.
Yeah, Opus I come pretty close. And so
okay.
I do a
Big
lot
spender over
of
there.
Yeah, it's just I'm running like 5 at a time, you know, just look at this or yeah, just trying to look into like debug some things that come through in Sentry, you know, as they come in, or somebody will be messaging me and I'll be like, you know, having to see how something works, something like that, you know, just constantly in and out through there. But yeah.
All right.
But yeah, it's I think it's good enough to at least I'm not like gonna I used to have all these subscriptions. I still have Codex subscription. Now I'm like thinking like I still hold on to it just and I'd love to hear what you talk about it just in case I need to try this out like this all these different ones. So but Codex they have this Sol, Terra, and Luna. Is that right?
That is right.
Okay. So um I'm honestly no to zero about this. I hate to say that because I'm sure people listening to this, they might know something, but can you give me just a 30-second like intro to these? Cause I think you use them for different functions, right?
Yeah. So like they're trying to do what Anthropic is doing with their naming conventions, right? So like Sol is their Fable, right? So Sol is considered their top tier,
Mm-hmm.
you know, frontier model, whatever it is, right? And then Luna is supposed to be like their low tier haiku-esque model, and then Terra
haiku. Yeah. Okay.
Never. And then Terra is like that middle one, like sonnet level.
Got it.
Stuff,
okay, so it's
right?
just the different levels.
Yeah. So Sol, Terra, Luna.
So I love how we're going like both of Anthropic and Codex now are just going pure Starbucks on this one, just grande, you know. Yeah. So okay, got that. All right.
I wish it wasn't, because it is confusing when I'm like, oh, okay, what do I need for this? Do I need Terra or can I get away with Luna? Screw it, I'm just going to use Fable or not Fable. I'm going to use Sol. So the only thing that I've ever used is Sol.
Okay. And it's also extra confusing. There's also effort levels on top of that. So you might use Fable and effort of max. So
right. So yeah, I've only used Sol. I've used Terra and Luna maybe once or twice each. I'm like, it's just not worth it for the work that I'm going to do for it, which is like heavy programming. So like I only use Codex for like personal stuff or like side gig type stuff. Claude's like my main workhorse. I do that at work. I have a whole monitor dedicated specifically to Claude and work. And then I've got a whole other monitor for like chats and stuff. And I have Codex. And I've been running Sol on extra high since they released it. So I got the $100 pro plan. I think they've reset limits like 3 times. So I haven't even gotten anything below like 60% of my weekly usage.
Wow.
And I have a free banked credit. So like, that's rad. But Sol has been sweet for me. So
really? Okay. Just because of how much you get from like how many how much the work credit you get out of it? Yeah.
Just the work that it does. Okay.
Is it better
than
Fable?
Is on par with what I got with Fable.
Okay.
But it costs less. And I don't know if that's just my workflow. You know, it's all subjective, but like Fable, I'm at $109 of extra usage credits on my Claude account, and that's from running a lot of Fable stuff.
Okay.
Like I'll use Fable to plan. I'm a big plan mode guy. I'll use Fable to plan, and then I'll swap to Opus 4.8 to implement the plan.
Okay. Got it.
That's been my workflow. So I don't have Fable like actually write code or whatever,
Mhm.
but it tears through my usage limits. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
scared the hell out of me the first like 2 days that I had, because my usage resets on Fridays.
Okay.
So like before it reset on Mondays. So I'm like, if it's over the weekend, I've got some usage limits. Let me try out a side project or whatever. But now since mine resets on Friday, when Fable came out on Monday,
no weekend fun. Yeah.
No weekend fun. Monday and Tuesday, I was at 40% of my weekly usage at the
Wow.
end of the day on Tuesday. I'm like,
Yeah,
what am I
that's-
supposed to do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday?
Stop working.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
am I going to have to write the rest of this by hand? Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I can't do the amount of work that I need to do the rest of this week by hand in 3 days, right? It takes me 1 week to do a feature. I've got to do 3 in 3 days by using limited Fable. But with Soul, like I said, I've been hammering it 3 or 4 sessions at a time on extra high, and I've never gotten below 60% before they reset the usage limits. And it has been getting sort of on par with what I was getting with Fable, right? I'm not
Nice.
working on the same project, so I can't like compare apples to apples.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy with like how you're saying it reduces your stuff on there. But that makes sense, when some of the stuff I've been reading on Twitter too, that people have been using it just because it's kind of same level like you mentioned as Fable, but they get more use out of it. And so I've always come close. I've never actually went over the limit. So but with Fable, but then again, like I'm only I use what's it called, Opus, quite a bit, so I don't know, but that's super interesting though. Because I've been curious with, have you ever used, you only use Swole, right?
Yeah, Soul.
Swole,
Not
Swole.
Swole. We're not Swole. Soul. Like the sun.
That's a PHP library. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you extra high
Yeah.
on that? So if I
Mhm.
start using it, okay. And then when you're using Fable, are you at max, or what do you like to use there when you're in planning?
I was at high those first 2 days, that Monday and Tuesday, where it got up to 40%, and then I swapped it down to medium after that.
Okay, I've never gotten it. Yeah.
So yeah,
Medium,
I'm only on Fable 5 medium for planning,
Jeez.
and
Yeah.
then I'll do Opus 4.8 for an adversarial review, and then I'll have Opus 4.8 do the work after that.
Yeah, I've never just I'm at Fable 5 max just all the time. I've never. I mean, I get close
Wow.
each week, but never. And some of them go for hours, so it's interesting.
How?
That's what I'm wondering, because I read about Twitter too.
Bro.
I don't know if I just have this account that I don't know, but
Because my
it'll go
5
for
hour
hours,
usage,
so
yeah, my 5 hour usage would not survive running
Yeah.
more than like an hour or two. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
interesting. Yeah, I've never really because it'll go for like, it'll think for a while, which it's very quiet when it's thinking, because
I
it
do love
doesn't
that.
it doesn't like to output because of the what's it called, where there's other models stealing from it, but like for training and purposes, stuff like that, so it's a bit more quieter. But it's very I don't know, I'll stick with Fable 5, but I do a lot of I used to use codecs a lot for their for like when I had the bot, that would turn on lights to my house, which still runs, by the way. I constant that the Codex SDK breaks all the time, and it'll randomly, like, it'll be come home and lights will be off, and I'll pull up my basement dweller, which is in the, and it'll be like it'll be aired out just because there's some Codex error or whatever. And then it stopped running, and then it automatically tries to restart, and it can't restart. So anyway. So constantly have to update the SDK. But that's about all I use it for. Just all it does is it turns on my lights right now. Occasionally it'll tell me updates, but on Twitter, but even I turned that off because it just got a little too noisy. So I don't know. But I'll have to check it out, and do some more work with it and see how much I like it.
I recommend, if you're a big Fable guy, you probably should at least give it a shot, Because
Yeah.
that seems to be the internet debate, right? Is Soul versus Fable? What's better? Whatever. I don't
React
have like a
versus Vue.
specific side that I'm on. Just as I'm seeing it right now, I'm getting comparable results, but yes, less usage limits with Soul compared to Fable. But
Sounds
I
good.
use Fable
Excited.
way more than I use Soul. So I want to put that
Do
out
you
there.
think Anthropic's going to drop the limited time use here soon? It's getting annoying. They're just like, it's kind of like an abusive relationship, honestly.
It really
They just keep
is.
like, hey, stay with us. We're gonna give you another week with Fable. Just one more week. Stay with us. We're gonna give you one more week. Just kidding. We're not going
And we're gonna
to.
push it. We're gonna push it.
So included till July 19th. So 2 more days on Sunday. And I bet they're just going to just reduce it. I mean, do you remember when Anthropic was really picking up when Opus came out, I think it was, and they were just down. Just it would be like middle of the day. They're just down all the time. I don't think I know you're using more Soul right now, but I have yet to see Fable 5 go down during like middle of at least my like a just 9 to 5, and I
I
use it
haven't
pretty
either.
much all day. I just very but I haven't seen it go down. So I'm like I think they're just gonna let us hopefully let us have it. So we'll see.
I really hope so. Right? Like I was one of those guys that was like, what was the original deadline? The 12th or the 13th or something like that. I was like, ooh, I've got like 20% weekly
Me
usage
too.
limits
Let's
left.
do it.
I'm gonna try some stuff. Right? Like let me throw some stuff at it. Used up all my limits. Oh hey, we're gonna extend it to the 19th. Okay, cool. I was one of those people who was like, can I get a reset or something? Because I thought that this was supposed to be the end. And so I used it
That was so
thinking it was the
frustrating.
end.
Yeah.
And it was like several days later before we got a reset. Or maybe it was a day later or something like that.
Yeah. You're right.
And then they extended it to the 19th. Yeah, like you said. Like, all right, guys, are you really going to take it away on the 19th or are you pulling my leg? So like, I'm not going to hammer it this weekend for the 19th. Also because my usage limits resets and I don't want to go into the the next fresh work week with no usage limits.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be optimistic about it.
Yeah, I'm hoping they decide, hey, it's been a good success. We're going to keep it on a subscription plan. I've also been hearing rumors that it's going to be on kind of a premium tier like subscription
Like
plan, like maybe the
API
20x
only.
or 10x for only subscription. So
Yeah.
they can only get that like it won't be on the $20 plan or whatever it is. But I don't know.
Which
we'll
is
see what they end
fair.
up doing.
Like
Yeah.
if it's a
If
frontier
it's a premium
model,
product. Yeah.
yeah, you need to be. It's not like, it's I want a 120 hertz screen. Sorry to keep bringing it back to Apple. I want a 120 hertz screen on the iPhone. That's a Pro line feature. You have to buy an iPhone Pro to get that. Same with Fable. You're gonna have to get a Pro plan or a Pro Max plan to get the frontier stuff. Like you can't pay $20 and get like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so we'll see what they end up doing. I bet they'll probably just, hey, here's another week. We'll see. But anyway,
I wouldn't mind another week, or at least just like the end of this month.
Yeah, be good.
Just the end of this month. Summer of Fable.
You have anything else we want to run through? I mean, I think we kind of went through each of our topics here, but I didn't know if you had any Laravel-esque stuff you want to see what you expect to see out of Laracon, or just general tidbits, anything like that.
Let's see what they got going on for the Laracons. Man, I am excited to watch it. Like I'm gonna watch the live stream, obviously, because why wouldn't you? I am excited for whatever Taylor is going to drop, because that's always been my favorite talk is what he's going to release for Laravel. And I feel like tying it back to what we talked to at the beginning of maybe not so excited about what Laravel's doing, more so about what the community is doing as a collective. So I am curious how he's going to present, like specifically present his talk. Is it going to be the same old, or is he going to try to do something crazy again? Like, oh, hey, this is a fresh MacBook with no PHP, and I'm going to do, this live AI-ish. Like he has to say something about AI. I feel like.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, he uses it himself. So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very curious how he's spin it's not the right word, but how he's going to interpret the landscape from this Laracon versus last Laracon, right? Because last Laracon was very in its infancy, and this time it's like everybody uses it, and everybody has opinions on what models are the best for what. So like, I am curious.
Except for the people on Reddit, they hate AI.
Yeah. Right. Or they're like, oh, just self-host it all. You know yourself, get like 7 Mac Minis, and you can host whatever the big one is, GLM 5.2 or whatever it is.
Yep.
I'm like, oh yeah, you'll never have to pay a subscription again. I'm like, yeah, you just have to pay $10,000 up front for all that hardware. No biggie deal.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think it'll be really exciting. There's quite a few like AI talks too. There's one from vibe coding to vibe engineering. There's another that says AI can do your job. Now what? So,
oh wow.
So some hot takes. Yeah, I'm
spicy
excited.
takes.
And I think this is a first, at least for Laracon US. This will be the first there is a filament talk. So I'm excited about that.
Is the boy gonna be there?
He usually, Dan's usually there, but actually it's I don't think it's him giving out to look to see who it was. But yeah,
is it his other guy?
No,
the other guy
it's the YouTube guy, I think.
Oh,
Pavlis, I think is his name. So yeah,
I was gonna be excited
really
for that if Dan was there.
Oh yeah. Dan will probably give me a hard time. He'll probably ask me if I have a phone yet, because he thought it was hilarious how I went to Wire Live and I didn't have a phone. Like, he was like, how are you doing anything? Like, how he's basically, how am I asking how I'm ordering food, which I showed him how I'm just getting off my laptop. But he thought it was great. But anyway, yeah, Dan will be there. It'll be a good time.
Shout out Dan.
Sweet. Yes, all right, man. You want to give us a wrap?
See. Yes, sir. Thank you all if you've made it this far for watching, or if you're listening. You can always go check out our videos versions of this on YouTube if you want to see our pretty stressed out faces. But you probably shouldn't. You probably should just listen to it.
Broken fridges, roof leaks.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So yeah, we appreciate you guys for listening this long. We'll come out with another piping hot rebranded episode of the Midwest. What the hell is this podcast called? Midwest Artificial Podcast. Midwest AI Artificial.
There you go.
Yeah, you should come back. Just come back and see what happens. You never know. We might rebrand, we might not. You should definitely come back. Bye.
All right, we'll see you next time, folks.